For our first unit, we have exponents and radicals. So we're going to start with our exponent laws. So this first one, number 1, when we were doing exponent laws, when we had numbers, so the coefficients, we would multiply. But when we had exponents and you're multiplying them, you had to add them. So we have 4 times 5. So we just take those and multiply them like normal. Then with our exponents, we have to add them. So 4 plus 6. So when you do this, your final answer is 4 times 5 is 20. And then W, 4 plus 6 is 10. So our answer here is 20W to the 10th. For the second one, we are dividing. So that means we divide our coefficients and we subtract our exponents. So 20 divided by 5 is what we start with. And then with our p's, we do 8 minus 4. So 8 minus 4. And this would give us 10 divided by 5 is 2. 8 minus 4 is p to the 4th. With number 3, we have the power to a power rule. So this is when we multiply these two. So for this one, it would be m, and then 3 times negative 2. So our final answer here is m to the negative 6th. But if you remember, you can't have negative exponents, so we would have to make this become 1 over m to the 6th because we move it to the bottom. For number 4, we're kind of combining rules. So this first one, it's n to the 3rd times n to the 4th, and then it's all divided by n to the 6th. So again, we're going to use this multiplication and this division. So first, we're just going to deal with the top, which means I add my exponents. So I have n to the 3 plus 4, and it's still going to be divided by n to the 6th. So then I add 3 and 4, and I get n to the 7th divided by n to the 6th. And now I just subtract like we did in number 2, so I get n to the 1st power. With number 5, we're combining power to a power rule and division. So again, I'm going to start with the top, and as we learned, power to a power means you multiply. So I'm going to have a to the 2 times negative 3, and that's going to be divided by a to the negative 4th. So this becomes a 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, divided by a to the negative 4th. So from this point, since we're dividing, we subtract. So a to the negative 6 minus negative 4. Minus a negative would become a plus. So our final answer is a to the negative 2. But we can't have a negative, so it becomes 1 over a squared. And that's our final answer. With number 6, we just have division, but there are multiple variables. So 20 divided by 2, that's our first step. Then we just take each of the variables separately. So this one would be b. The top is a 2. Since we're dividing, I'm going to subtract. And this b down here doesn't have an exponent, but if it doesn't have an exponent, we learned that was a 1. So it's b to the 2 minus 1. C, 5 minus 3. So our final answer here would be 20 divided by 2 is 10. 2 minus 1 would be b to the 1st. 5 minus 3 would be c squared. So 10b c squared is our final answer. So now we're going to move on to these word problems. So if we go down we have two word problems about area that deal with exponent rules. So this first one says we have the length of a rectangle is 4x squared y to the third, and the width is 2x to the 10 y to the fourth. What is the area of the rectangle? So for this one, I'm going to sketch a picture. So with this rectangle, we know our length is 4x squared y to the third, and our width is 2x to the 10th y to the fourth. And we know that we want the area, which is length times width. So we just plug in these two values into our formula. So I get area equals, my length was 4x squared y to the third, and my width was 2x to the 10th y to the fourth. So our area here, we're going to use our exponent rules. So with multiplication, remember we multiplied our coefficients. So 4 times 2. And then we added our exponents. So it'd be x2 plus 10. Then with y, it's 3 plus 4. So when we simplify this, we get our area equals 4 times 2 is 8. 2 plus 10 is 12. 3 plus 4 is 7. So our final answer is 8x to the 12th, y to the 7th. Now for number 8, it says if the area of the rectangle is 36 m to the 7th into the 4th, and the width is 6m squared into the 3rd, what is the area? So this time it gives us the area. This should not be area. That should be length. So it should say what is the length. So it gives us our area and it gives us the width and it wants the length. So again, we're going to sketch a picture. So we know our area, so everything inside is 36 m to the 7th into the 4th. And we know our width is 6m squared into the 3rd. So we want our length. So instead of multiplying this time, we need to divide. So it's going to be to find the length, it's area divided by the width. So when we plug this in, we get L equals, so the length equals 36 m to the 7th into the 4th. Then we divide that by the width that they gave us, which was 6 m squared into the 3rd. So we do 36 divided by 6. Then we divide our exponents, which means we subtract them. So we get m 7 minus 2. And then we have n 4 minus 3. So our final answer here would be 36 divided by 6 is 6. 7 minus 2 would be m to the 5th. 4 minus 3 would be n to the 1st. So 6m to the 5th, n to the 1st is our final answer. And that finishes exponent rules.